The mayor and city council are locked in a battle over housing for the homeless.
So yesterday, the council overhauled the rules governing housing vouchers for the poor and did so by a veto-proof majority over the mayor's objections.
So the reforms remove the rule requiring people to stay in shelters for 90 days before seeking the housing vouchers. They lower the income level for getting them, and they eliminate the practice of deducting utility costs from voucher value. So they also let people apply for them when they're close to being evicted.
So some would say that there are problems with these reforms. We're talking about that this morning with with one of the advisors to Mayor Eric Adams. You have his ear, right? So we're talking, of course, about a homeless advocate himself. He was known as the homeless hero, Shams DaBaron. So Shams, good to see you this morning.
Good to see you both.
What is it that you find wrong with the reforms?
Well, it's not that. I like the fact that the city council is coming together to address an issue that is very important and dear to me in terms of housing and homelessness. So that's a great thing. I think that I would have wanted more cooperation between the mayor and the city council, along with impacted people and other stakeholders, in being able to devise it in a way where there wouldn't be, in my opinion, might become a negative effect of unintended consequences for the population that is most vulnerable, those that are in the shelter.
So let me ask you this, right? Because the headline this morning is this back and forth battle between the city council and the mayor, but at the bottom line here are real people who are affected by these changes, right? Some would say that it makes sense to get folks out of a shelter and into permanent housing, and that's why they wanted to eliminate the 90-day rule. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, we all agree that the 90-day rules doesn't make sense. I mean, I brought impacted advocates to City Hall last year with the express purpose of helping to streamline the voucher process and address those particular issues. And one of the advocates, Sarah, she was hardcore on this 90-day rule thing, which affects all of us. So from there, we were already working to reduce that, along with former Commissioner Gary Jenkins.
But why was the mayor against it?
The mayor wasn't against it. What we were trying to do was determine at what point should there be that cutoff point. So we were exploring things like 45 days or 30 days. And so we had to look at things like, would this lead to an influx of people coming into the shelter system and then create a situation that couldn't be managed properly on day one? You know, I know that if I was in a situation where I was in housing insecure, or I'm struggling to pay rent, I'm going to run to the shelter and go get a voucher and stuff like that. So that might sound like a good idea, and I'm telling you, I would do that. But in reality, that it might create a gridlock. And so those things had to be sort of studied properly in order to figure out what would be the best course of action. There are other things to consider. Processing people to determine what exactly type of housing needs they may require, because some people need supportive housing. Some people may have other needs, and some people may have no needs. Some people may come in with no ID, no paperwork that would help them reintegrate into society, being a part, maybe chronically homeless or being paroled from prison. So all of those things have to be considered, but none of us agree that 90 days should be maintained.
But do you feel like there is a perfect system then? Or do you think that, or would you say that this is maybe the best case scenario, at least for now?
My fear, anything that moves the needle is a good thing, because what we have and what we've been having is horrible. And it's systemic things that prevent people from accessing housing and from others to languish in the shelter industrial complex. So any move in the right direction, just the mere fact that City Council finally have come together to say we're going to address this issue is a good thing. I think that with the timing, we're in such a crisis, everybody's moving and trying to do something, but I don't think there's enough conversation between the different entities. You were talking about, you know, the paper is saying, the headlines reading battle and this and that, and I think that doesn't do New Yorkers good, and the most vulnerable New Yorkers could end up being the collateral damage of that type of division.
Right, and I think that a lot of the conversation and attention being focused on the homeless population is because of what we're seeing with the asylum seekers come in right now, right? And they are looking for housing and alternatives as well. So what are your conversations with the mayor, because I know you speak to him, about handling both situations at the same time and fairly?
Well, I think everybody will agree that no one foresaw that we would have this influx of asylum seekers. And I don't think the city has prepared. It couldn't handle the homelessness crisis it was dealing with prior to all of this. So they didn't create a crisis. We were already in crisis. A lot of the problems is rooted in one simple thing. We don't produce enough housing for people that need it. The housing in New York City, there are housing going up, but it's not affordable to the average New Yorkers. So with an influx of people, with the people currently there, think about the 20,000 voucher holders currently that can't access housing.
Now, you've been homeless before. You said you'd rather sleep on a park bench than live in a shelter. So what would you say really is the single most important thing or the best thing we can do for the homeless right now?
I think the mayor and the governor, and I would want to see the president do it, is to declare a state of emergency for housing and homelessness and connect those two things with a specific focus on homelessness. So even in the city, if we declared a state of emergency and used all of the powers we could to say we're going to eliminate homelessness as best we could in this city, we would be focused on the one solution to that, and that is the production of housing. And then we would have to engage in, it's an all hands on deck situation where we would have to engage all stakeholders to actually focus on developing more housing for those who need it most.
All right, to be continued for sure. It's not an easy topic to tackle, but I appreciate you being here today to talk about it, Shams.
Yes.
Always good to have you here.
Thank you.